Today we'll be talking about the quadratic formula. The quadratic formula is used for solving quadratic equations. A quadratic equation is any equation that looks like this. A times x squared plus b times x plus c equals 0. A, b, and c are all placeholders for actual numbers. It's called a quadratic equation because the term quadra in quadratic means square. And the main defining factor of a quadratic equation is that it has a part of the equation where x is squared. So, as an example, if we set a equal to -2, b equal to 5, and c equal to 0, then the equation would be -2 times x squared plus 5 times x plus 0 equals 0. Now, any algebraic equation, such as a quadratic equation, will have you solving for x. So, if we take our quadratic equation, how do we solve for x? Well, one way to do it is the quadratic formula, which works with every single quadratic equation imaginable. This is the formula: x equals -b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4 times a times c, all of that over 2 times a. The plus or minus part just means that you can choose either plus or minus to get two different answers. So, if we plug in the numbers for our equation, we get x equals -5 plus or minus the square root of 25 minus 0, all of that divided by -4. That's x equals -5 plus or minus 5, all of that divided by -4. If we choose plus, we get -5 plus 5, all of that divided by -4, or 0. If we choose minus, we get x equals -5 minus 5, all of that divided by -4, or 10/4. So, the two answers for this equation are 0 and 10/4. A quadratic equation can be used for tracking the position of, say, a baseball. If we turn x into t and 0 into y, and then see what y comes out to be when we put in different values for t, we can plot out these numbers into a graph to get a parabola, which is an arc, that represents the height of the ball in the air. A graph is a diagram that shows the relationship between numbers that can vary. In this case, the relationship between t and y. The reason this represents a ball is because when thrown, baseballs and other projectiles usually make a parabola. Anyways, with the quadratic formula, we can find out at what values of t will we find the ball on the ground, aka at a height of 0.